Close your eyes for a moment and imagine speaking English with ease. No hesitation, no fear, just clear, confident words flowing naturally. Now open your eyes and understand this. That future does not begin someday. It begins with what you do, quietly and consistently, starting today. Take a quiet moment and think about this idea. Consistency is more important than perfection. Many learners believe they must speak perfectly before they speak at all. They wait, they hesitate, they hold back, hoping one day everything will feel just right. But language does not grow in waiting. It grows in doing, again and again, in small, steady ways. You see, perfection is something distant. It asks too much, too soon. It can make your mind feel heavy and your voice feel silent. But consistency is gentle. It simply asks you to return each day, even if only for a few minutes, and give your honest effort. When you practice daily, something very quiet yet very powerful begins to happen inside you. Your mind starts to recognize patterns. Words begin to settle. Sounds feel more familiar. Not because you forced them, but because you visited them often with patience. Think of it like watering a plant. You do not pour all the water at once and expect it to grow overnight. You give it a little each day. You trust the process, and slowly, without noise or rush, it begins to grow. In the same way, every small effort you make, every sentence you speak, every line you read, adds something meaningful. Even if it feels small, it is not wasted. It is building something within you that will stay. And yes, there will be days when your words are not clear, when mistakes appear, when you feel unsure. But those moments are not signs of failure. They are signs that you are showing up, that you are trying, and that is where real progress lives. So instead of asking yourself, was I perfect today? Gently ask, did I practice today? Because that simple question will guide you much further with much more peace. Stay with your practice, keep it steady, keep it calm, and trust that over time your consistency will quietly shape the fluency you are seeking. Take a moment and consider how learning truly begins. Not with difficulty, not with pressure, but with understanding. When you choose to read something simple, something designed for your level, you are giving your mind a chance to breathe. You are not forcing it to struggle. You are allowing it to learn in a natural, steady way. This is where graded readers become so valuable, because they meet you exactly where you are. Imagine opening a book and being able to understand most of what you read. Not perfectly, but comfortably. Your eyes move smoothly across the page. Your mind begins to connect meaning without stopping at every word. In that quiet flow, something important begins to happen. You start thinking in the language, not translating it. This is how strong foundations are built. If the material is too difficult, your mind becomes tired. It begins to resist. Learning feels heavy, and slowly, confidence fades. But when the material is just right, your mind stays open, it stays curious, and learning begins to feel calm, even enjoyable. With each simple sentence, you are not just reading, you are training your mind to recognize patterns. You are seeing how words come together, how ideas are formed, how meaning flows naturally. These small, clear examples quietly shape your understanding in a way that lasts. And as you return to this practice day after day, those simple sentences begin to stay with you. You remember them, you begin to use them. Slowly, your own speaking begins to reflect what you have read, not by force, but by familiarity. There is no need to rush ahead, there is no need to prove anything. Learning in this way is not about speed, it is about depth. It is about allowing each step to become strong before moving forward. So when you choose something simple, something gentle and clear, you are not choosing less, you are choosing wisely. You are building a foundation that will support everything that comes next, quietly and steadily, one understanding at a time. Take a moment and consider what confidence really means when you are learning to speak. Many people believe confidence is something you either have or you don't. They look at fluent speakers and imagine there is some special talent, something natural that they themselves are missing. But that belief can quietly hold you back because it is not the truth. Confidence does not come first. Confidence comes after. It grows slowly, gently, through practice. In the beginning, it is very normal to feel unsure. Your voice may hesitate. Your mind may search for words. You may even feel a little uncomfortable speaking out loud. But this feeling is not a sign that you cannot learn. It is simply a sign that you are at the starting point, and every learner begins here. Now, imagine what happens when you begin to speak every day, even just a little. You say a few sentences. Some are clear, some are not, but you continue. The next day, you speak again, and then again. Without noticing it at first, something begins to change. Your tongue becomes more familiar with the sounds. Your mind becomes quicker in forming sentences. The hesitation becomes a little shorter. The fear becomes a little quieter. And this is how confidence is born. Not from waiting, not from thinking, but from doing. Every time you speak, you are sending a quiet message to yourself. I can try. And with every small attempt, that message becomes stronger. Slowly, it turns into, I can do this. There is no need to rush this process. There is no need to force confidence to appear. It will come in its own time as a natural result of your effort. So allow yourself to speak even when it feels imperfect. Allow your voice to grow through use, not silence. Because the more you practice, the more it all becomes familiar, and what once felt difficult begins to feel simple, steady, and natural. Take a gentle breath and allow yourself to look at mistakes in a different way. Many learners feel a quiet fear when they make a mistake. They pause. They hesitate, and sometimes they stop speaking altogether. It feels uncomfortable, as if something has gone wrong. But what if we understand this moment more clearly and more kindly? A mistake is not a failure. A mistake is a sign that you are learning. When you try to form a sentence, when you choose words, when you speak out loud, your mind is working. It is exploring, testing, and building new connections. And in that process, it is completely natural for things to come out imperfectly. Think of it like learning to walk. No one expects a child to take perfect steps from the very beginning. There are small falls, small missteps, and yet each one is necessary. Each one teaches balance, strength, and direction. In the same way, every mistake you make while learning English is guiding you. It is showing you what to adjust, what to notice, what to improve. Without these moments, your learning would remain still. With them, it moves forward. When you allow yourself to make mistakes without fear, something inside you becomes lighter. Your mind relaxes. Your voice becomes more natural. You are no longer trying to be perfect. You are simply trying to express. And that is where real progress begins. You start to speak more freely. You try new words. You form longer sentences. And even when something is not correct, you continue, because you understand this is part of the path. Over time, those same mistakes begin to fade. Not because you avoided them, but because you faced them gently and patiently. You learned from them step by step. So do not push mistakes away. Do not silence yourself because of them. Let them be part of your learning, just as practice is, just as effort is. And as you continue, you will begin to see that what once felt like an obstacle was quietly helping you grow stronger, clearer, and more confident with every step. Take a quiet moment and listen, not just to the words around you, but to the way they are spoken. Language is not only something we read or write, it is something we hear, something we feel through sound, rhythm, and tone. And this is why listening and speaking are so deeply connected. They are like two parts of the same gentle process, growing together, supporting one another. When you listen carefully, you are giving your mind a model. You begin to notice how words are pronounced, how sentences rise and fall, how pauses are placed. At first, you may not understand everything, and that is perfectly fine. Understanding grows slowly. But even when meaning is not complete, your mind is still learning the music of the language. And then, when you begin to speak, something familiar begins to guide you. The sounds you have heard start to shape your own voice. The rhythm you have listened to begins to appear in your sentences. It may not be perfect, but it feels a little more natural, a little more connected. So if you only listen, your understanding may grow, but your voice remains quiet. If you only speak without listening, your words may lack flow and clarity. But when you bring the two together, when you listen with attention and speak with courage, you create balance. Think of it as a conversation between your ears and your voice. Your ears receive, your voice responds, and with each exchange, your fluency becomes stronger, more complete. There is no need to rush this process. You can begin with simple listening, short sentences, clear voices, gentle pace. Then repeat what you hear, even softly, even slowly. Let your voice follow the sound without pressure. Over time, you will notice a quiet change. Your pronunciation becomes clearer, your sentences feel smoother, and speaking no longer feels separate from listening. It feels like a natural continuation of it. So allow yourself to listen patiently and often, and allow yourself to speak, even if it feels small, because together, these two simple practices will guide you step by step toward a more natural and confident way of using the language. Take a slow, gentle breath and allow yourself to understand something very important. Learning takes time. Not a rushed kind of time, not a pressured kind of time, but a calm, steady, patient kind of time. The kind that allows things to grow naturally, without force. Many learners begin their journey with energy and hope. They want to improve quickly. They want to see results right away. And when those results do not appear as fast as they expected, a quiet feeling of doubt begins to rise. They wonder if they are doing something wrong or if they are not capable. But the truth is much simpler and much kinder. Real learning is not immediate. It is gradual. It happens in small, almost invisible steps. One new word understood, one sentence spoken a little more clearly, one moment of hesitation that becomes just a little shorter than before. These changes may seem small, but they are deeply meaningful. They are the signs of true progress. Patience allows you to see these small steps for what they are, valuable and necessary. When you are patient, you stop rushing yourself. You stop expecting perfection in a short time. Instead, you begin to trust the process. You show up each day, you practice, and you allow your learning to unfold at its own pace. Think of it like the rising of the sun. It doesn't rush into the sky. It appears slowly, gently, and yet it always arrives. In the same way, your progress is always moving forward, even if it feels quiet. When you give yourself this patience, something inside you becomes peaceful. You no longer feel pressured or overwhelmed. Your mind stays open, ready to learn, and your efforts become more consistent, more focused, more meaningful. Over time, this patience creates something strong and lasting. Not just quick results that fade, but deep understanding that stays with you. So allow yourself the time you need. Trust each small step and continue your journey with a calm and steady heart, knowing that lasting success is not built in a moment, but in many gentle moments joined together over time. As we come to the end of this journey together, take a quiet moment and notice how simple this path is. You do not need to rush. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to keep going, gently and consistently, one small step at a time. Each day you practice, each word you read, each sentence you speak is quietly shaping your fluency. Trust the process, trust your effort. Even when progress feels slow, something meaningful is happening within you. Your understanding is growing, your confidence is forming, your voice is becoming stronger. So continue with patience, with calm, and with belief in yourself. Because fluency is not something far away. It is something you are building, little by little, every single day.